Opening our list of top 10 PSVR games so far is PlayStation VR Worlds. Sony's compilation of glorious virtual reality games comes together in PlayStation VR Worlds. Players get to enjoy 4 different worlds filled with unique details. From the insane wonder of the abyss in Ocean Descent, to the land-lubbering adventures of the sea in Scavenger's Odyssey. This game takes into consideration the depths of virtual reality and the PS Move controller. Perhaps its most rewarding world is the London Heist, which puts you into an Ocean's 11-like experience. Steal a precious diamond and engage in a gunfight in the most exhilarating way. If thievery isn't quite right for you, then enjoy a relaxing game of Pong in Danger Ball. It has a play score of 6.65. Number 9 is Drive Club VR. One of the few VR launch games that puts the pedal to the metal. Drive Club VR not only gives you an immersive feel behind the steering wheel, it also lets you take that first taste of what VR racing has to offer. Drive Club veterans won't find the various game modes and dynamic weather that made the original game better. What they'll discover instead is that familiar feel and the joy of driving around the game's beautiful world. Despite its flaws, Drive Club VR still proves that virtual reality is ready in the scale of racing, and who knows? Future racing games may give more than just immersion when we step inside the drive scene. It has a play score of 7.29. Number 8 is Here They Lie. There is a fine line between what's real and what's not. This game takes the creeps and visualizes it in the most haunting way possible. Here They Lie is dubbed as Alice's trip down the rabbit hole, and it pretty much means it. The mind-bending visuals coupled with a constant dread of monster sounds can creep up on someone playing the game at 3 in the morning. However, its focus on the abstract form of dread loses its way in a deep spiral of confusion and letdown to most players. Nonetheless, it's still a psychologically scary virtual reality experience. It has a play score of 7.47. Number 7 is Batman Arkham VR. Our favorite brooding Cape Crusader returns in virtual reality. Rocksteady's entry to the VR gaming world opens up with this new chapter in the Arkham series. Don the Batsuit in a deeply engaging experience inside this orphan's shoes. This time, it's on virtual reality. Rocksteady promises the players to fully control most of Batman's iconic gadgets, such as the Batarang, the Batclaw, and his detective vision. These gadgets help him solve a looming mystery that threatens the safety of his friends. This 90-minute game showcases unique approaches to some of Batman's nemesis, such as Riddler's clever puzzles.
Careful! You can't afford to burn through brain cells so quickly!
It has a play score of 7.84. Number 6 is Bound. Sway your way into a world with blaring visual aesthetic. This platformer entry to the VR scene comes with charm, heart, and grace. Bound takes you to a life of a princess in a beautifully rendered world that pops nothing but colors. Its platforming elements require careful motion and adept fluidity. Save your mother from a being so horrific called the Monster. Perhaps the game's most appealing character is its no risk for punishment. You literally don't die in this game. Its strange and beautiful story really takes you inside its captivating world. The 3-hour playtime and the sense of replayability adds a bit of charm to its atmosphere, and it's one of PSVR's most gorgeous games to date. It has a play score of 7.90. Number 5 is Until Dawn, Rush of Blood. Take what you know about Supermassive's horror game and put a dose of VR into it. Rush of Blood is its entry to the budding virtual reality scene. As the name suggests, it's a horror show of roller coaster proportions. You can take a ride into what seemed to be normal at first, then as you put yourself deeper into the darkness, you know you've descended into hell itself. It's not meant to be confused with the original's interactive gameplay. This game focuses on rail shooting mechanics. There are multiple levels with differing magnitudes of fears, from clowns, murderers, and even slaughtered pigs. It's basically your one-stop shop for phobias. Until Dawn's seamless usage of the PlayStation Move controller brings the shooter experience to a phenomenal degree. You will clearly feel the rush of fear or rush of blood inside you up until you reach that final stage. It has a play score of 8.04. Number 4 is Job Simulator. There's really not much to tell about Job Simulator. It's basically a job simulator. Although a quirky one at that. It's a mixture of VR practice while familiarizing with the PS Move's controller. Question your existence in a never-ending simulation of your job that involves mostly anything, From fueling cars, cooking, and throwing inanimate objects to your boss, you can even eat donuts in this game. How fun is that? Seriously though, there's nothing serious to talk about in this game. It's a relaxing, humorous, and ridiculous way of portraying life's greatest monotony in a virtual reality game. Just imagine what your life would be if this was your job. It has a play score of 8.05. Number 3 is Trackmania Turbo. Developer Nadeo brings you a fast and colorful racing game that blends fun and simplicity to its core. Trackmania Turbo boasts short yet insanely fun level designs that offer enjoyment for players who want to do it alone or with friends. Its vast amount of content, ranging from multiple tracks. According to most reviewers, it's a fairly simple game that can also be a good product for casual players. Over 200 courses, Trackmania Turbo still kicks the bar high when it comes to multiplayer and single-player racing, split screen included. It has a play score of 8.39. Number 2 is Thumper. There's something so oddly satisfying about this game. If not for the ominous figure that glares at you from the distance, it's the visual strike that this game delivers. Thumper is dubbed as Rhythm Violence, a mixture between a rhythm game and brutal physicality. It requires reflexes decent enough to not let your little space beetle succumb to the darkness that lingers beyond it. Aside from its visuals, Thumper excels in its impactful music. The staggering sounds of bumping and sliding through walls and rails brings a sense of satisfaction, if not frustrations. With the use of the PSVR's peripherals, players can experience the odd brilliance of this game. It has a play score of 8.67. But before we reveal the number 1, here are the few games that deserve special mention. Playroom VR. Enjoy your first adventure into Sony's virtual reality gaming with this free content. Valkyrie. Soar through the galaxy and engage in a cosmic dogfight with your enemies. Wayward Skies. Embark on a charming adventure as you take on a riveting narrative filled with wonder and delight. Harmonix Music VR. Feel the beat and dance to the rhythm with this virtual reality music game. Battle Zone. Relive the epic classic we know and love and watch it evolve into an explosive virtual reality game. Hatsune Miku, Project Diva X. Get the front row seats and experience everyone's favorite Vocaloid in this mesmerizing concert adventure. Rise of the Tomb Raider VR. While not entirely a full virtual experience, step into Lara's spelunking shoes and witness the beauty Crystal Dynamics offers. You can get these games right now by clicking the links in the description box below. And the best PSVR game so far is Res Infinite. This digital trip to a stunning world boasts with electronic beats and pulsating lights that give players one of the best VR experiences to date. If anyone does remember, Res Infinite is a rail shooter that takes the form of rhythmic-based combat and stellar atmosphere. It was released on 2001 on the iconic Dreamcast and PlayStation 2. Its trippy world with dazzling moments strike nostalgia to most players. Float around in an endless space filled with pixelated organisms and translucent details. The game is playable with or without VR, but for those who prefer the experience of taking the game in virtual form, then you're in for a treat. It has a play score of 8.68. We publish 3 gaming videos every week. Don't miss any of them. Click that bell button beside the subscribe button, check the send me box, and save. Don't forget to like and share this video to your friends. Subscribe now and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Google+.